Hey everybody, Jason here with another rambling video probably that probably won't go anywhere or make much sense. So this past weekend I played in probably the most fun and awesome and exciting D&D 5e game that I've ever played. And I was actually shocked at how much fun I had. There were things about it, you know, mechanics-wise, that got on my nerves and I didn't like. Mainly the fact that one of our characters was a first-level halfling monk who couldn't be touched because his AC was so high because his dex was a 20. And he did so much damage per hit and he hit all the time because his dex was a 20. Dexterity is basically the god stat. Hold on, my wife's calling. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My wife called. I'm on my way home from work and we had to make some dinner plans real quick. So yeah, basically in 5th edition, Dexterity is the god stat. This halfling monk is first level. He does not wear armor. He does not wield a weapon. He does not need armor. He does not need a weapon. His armor class is through the roof for a first level character. It's 15 starting out. Plus, I don't know if you get an armor class bonus being a first level monk. I'm not sure if you add your wisdom score to your AC or not. I don't remember. So he's rocking at least a 15 AC unarmored at first level, and he's got +7 to his attack at first level, +7 damage at first level minimum, I guess, because his dex is 7 and martial arts is a finesse. He's got 2 attacks per round. One of them is a bonus action attack at first level. The character's completely fucking broken. However, that aside, just the nature of the game itself, what happened was my best friend was the one running the game, and he doesn't GM a whole lot. I don't GM a whole lot. Neither of us, we both have done a little bit here and there since high school. And within like the past 6 or 7 years, we've both done a little bit here and there. But basically what he did was he took an old map, which was Zanzartem's Dungeon, which was the first D&D game that we ever played. I bought the black box back in, was it 91 or 92, something like that. And I ran the game because I bought the game, and I ran Zanzartem's Dungeon. And we both have super, super, super fond memories of Zanzartem's Dungeon. We've been talking forever about breaking that old map back out and bringing that into part of a game. And so what he did was, he took the D&D Essentials kit, the D&D Starter kit, or Starter box, and Zanzartem's Dungeon, and made this big mashup of a mini campaign he's gonna run. And so, I made a human fighter, which storyline-wise is a character that I've been wanting to run and play for a number of years now, long time now. And I just have always run other things. And I thought, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm doing this human fighter. And, you know, his stats aren't outrageous. He doesn't have anything over a 16 right now, which is great because then I have something to build towards as the character evolves. When you start out first level and a couple of your stats are like 18 and 19 and 20, what are you evolving to? What happens when you level up? You know, you might get a few abilities from your class, but your stats don't raise or anything like that, which, you know, stats raising is more of a modern idea anyway, but I digress. So we start out Zanzartem's Dungeon, and I have to say, okay, so let me back up. 2 of our 4 players, two of our 5 players. There's the 1 GM, 4 players. So of the 5 of us total, 2 of the guys didn't show up. which was not a surprise. They miss quite a bit because they're not really gamers. They're just our friends that happen to game with us. So my friend was trying to decide, am I going to run the game for just you two? Should I have you run their characters? Have you players run their characters? What am I going to do? I said, dude, we've been waiting forever to do this. You've been working on it forever. Just run it. Just run it, and we'll have fun with it. So what happened was, since it's the first session of the new campaign this mini campaign we're doing, we did not, as players, control the other two characters of the guys that didn't show up. So it was literally just the two of us controlling our two characters, and we were in this jail cell, this dungeon in Xander Tim's dungeon, and it was amazing. It was an old school dungeon crawl because it used that old school map. He actually took a lot of the rooms in the dungeon out because it was so big that it didn't fit what he needed to do for his story. And he repopulated the entire dungeon to make his own story with it. And the two of us, me and the other guy that played, we role-played off of each other really well. And the game wasn't bogged down and slowed down by other players who, one, don't role-play, or two, don't know their characters, don't remember the mechanics. Like you go to roll an attack roll and you roll a d12 instead of a d20 because even though you've been playing for 5 years, you're not paying attention to what you're doing, this and that. For being just the two of us, it actually worked out better because we got through so much of the dungeon. We role-played off of each other. We role-played off of the other encounters we had. We made decisions based on our characters rather than us as players. It was just so fun. It was amazing. I am shocked at how much fun I had playing 5th edition. Super heroic gaming mechanics aside, there wasn't tons of combat, even though it was a dungeon crawl. There was some puzzles. One puzzle I almost ruined for us because, long story short, there were a couple of vials that we needed. They had a special liquid in them that had to be weighted out a certain way to open something. Well, I didn't know that because we were locked in a room. I thought that the liquid in the potions had to be mixed together, which would create a potion of, like, etherealness or fog form or something, to where we could fly out through the cracks of the door. Well, come to find out, I drank the potion. It wasn't really a potion, it was just specific liquids that were weighted a certain way, and it made me sick. I didn't die, but it made me sick. And what I ended up doing was, once we figured out that the little contraption that held the 3 vials for the potions actually moved and had to be, that was like the weight part of it, the scale. I actually cut myself open and filled the vials with my own blood, since I had a lot of hit points out of being a fighter. We hadn't had very little combat at that point. So I was at full health because I hadn't gotten hit yet. Because I think we fought a couple kobolds and actually had some role playing and avoided fighting with a couple of them. No, I take that back. I had gotten hit and hurt a little bit, but I still had quite a few hit points. Basically, the equivalent of losing 1 hit point is what I lost. Filling the 3 vials up with my blood. So not a big deal. And then we were able to distribute the weight of my blood out to even out this contraption, which unlocked the door. So that was fun. There were puzzles, there were traps. We ended up befriending a young wormling, a black dragon wormling, that had his wings cut off and his eyes destroyed. we were able to, instead of fighting it, we were able to talk it down, calm it down, and because it was stuck down in a pit, it couldn't reach us to attack us, and it was starving, but we were able to calm it down. We fed it, which calmed it down a little bit, and it stopped to talk to us because we had a couple of good, both role-playing moments, backed up by a couple of good rolls with the D20, and we offered it, we said, hey, you know, if we help you get out of this dungeon and let you go, you know, maybe you could help us if by chance we get attacked by more kobolds on the way out. And it agreed. So we made our way out of the dungeon, and the game ended right where we were about to exit the dungeon. And I can't, like, I think my friend was a little, you know, my best friend since 7th grade was a little kind of sheepish and shy, and was like taken aback by my praise of how good he ran the dungeon, and, like, you know, things like that. So it was an amazing time. I cannot wait to go back and in a couple of weeks and play again. You know, and do more of this specific module or adventure that he's written. It's just been a lot of fun. And while I'm still leaning towards running or playing more OSR games or OSR-minded games, I'm thinking about possibly using Runehammer's Hardcore 5e supplement when I run Dragon Heist, because I think the sensibilities for that bring it down to a more realistic level for me, but still will keep the other players interested because it's still 5th edition. So we'll find out. I think I'm gonna try and convince them to play with the 5e hardcore rules, at least for the first session. If they don't like it, maybe we'll mix things up or not play it at all. I'm sorry, not use the supplement at all. But yeah, I'm excited. I was really shocked at how much fun I had that night, and I did not expect to have that much. I expected it to be fun. I was with my friends. I was playing D&D and things like that, but I didn't expect it to be that fun. It was just awesome. It was just really cool. So anyway, I'm home. I'm gonna pick up my wife and my daughter, and we're gonna go get some dinner. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we will see you guys later.